here. Wait for this thing to go live. Hey, what's going on? Beast Mode Brandon back again. You know, it's always a good day when you got your digital currency generator. Let's go, let's go, let's go. You know, so hey, it is Tuesday. Got a couple things on the agenda tonight. What I want to go over is I've been getting a couple messages. Some of the techniques that we have inside the mastermind. We have different techniques. I just want to make sure everybody's on the same page, understanding how to execute and enter each one of these trades. We're going to walk through it right here tonight. We're going to fire up the screeners. We're going to find some stocks for us to watch for the rest of the week because, you know, we want to make some money. You know what I mean? So we're going to get it, you know. In the end, I mean, what's your objective, right? My objective is to make more to bless more, you know. In my heart, I like to make money and give back, you know, and give back to charities, family and friends, you know, tied into church, because to me, I believe that makes the world a better place, you know. So in my heart and my why is exactly why I do the things I do now, because I want to grow the account so I'm able to abundantly help others and keep the train rolling, you know. So if you guys are in alignment with that, just put a 1 in the box real quick. Just seeing you guys on the same page as I'm one. I already see you guys put ones in the box. There it is. You know, so in the end, we want to make the world a better place, you know, and it starts with the foundations, the basics, understanding, going through it, you know. We have some people that come in, start off with the trade school, and there's nothing starting out because if you don't understand the foundation, you're not going to understand how to take some of these advanced techniques that we do every single day. You know, one of the techniques we have, we sell options. You know, and just to give you an example, if you had 10 grand and you leverage that 10 grand for the last 4 years, you'd average about $2,500 net profit each month if you traded it to the T. You know, if you didn't, even if you made $1,500, right? Off that 10 grand, you're now leveraging that money and you're growing it, compounding it month and month and month. And that's like making, say you make $2,000. You just made $25,000 extra on the side using that 10 grand, right? You all but 150% it at the end of the year. And anyone wouldn't even believe you on them type of returns. But that's some of the things and the power that we have inside the mastermind, right? And even if like I mean, there's times where it's turbulent, and that's kind of why we come in and go over some of these techniques to instill the confidence and be able to take those trades, because things don't always go right. You know what I'm saying? Like we're in the field for boxing where it's like we throw a punch, then we're going to get hit. You know, you got to be able to survive the hits, and part of that is that risk management. I know you guys hear me preach risk management all the time, and that's simply why, because I personally struggle with it in the first 3 years of my trading journey when I started in 2016. So my loss is your gain. Just listen to me, and you're going to be all right. You know what I'm saying? So anyway, let's jump right in. Let's get to the good stuff here. So we got let me make sure you guys can see my screen here. We got the coloring, but oh man, what'd I do? Yeah. All right, right here it is. All right, you guys see the right? Go ahead, go ahead. I'm gonna mute you. All right, so a couple of different techniques that we have, whether you day trade or you swing trade, they're exactly the same thing. And I have an option chain pulled up right here. Obviously, inside the Notion, you're going to understand a lot of these basics, so I'm not going to go over that. What I'm going to go over is to give you the confidence to be able to take those trades, right? So first things first, when you take a trade, right, you're going to come in here and you're going to come to the option chain itself. And we're on SPX right now. And we're just going to click on this, right? And when you come in here and take a trade, a straight call or a straight put, doesn't matter. Calls are on the left, puts are on the right. You always click in the ask column. If you click this, you're going to spend $1,300, right? This turns green down here. If you want to go farther out of the money like we teach you, you can go 20 cents. You could buy one contract for $430. This is the beginning. This is a straight call on this side right here. Coming down into this, you're going to see The single, the buy, you see the number of contracts just starting out. I don't care how big your account size is. You start off with one contract. The reason you start off with one contract, because you have to be able to survive and trust some of the turbulent times that may happen. And what I mean by that is, what happens if I have an 80% win rate, right? Swing Master Pro AI, 80, 85%. What if you just happen to participate in the 2 losing trades? And what if they're back to back? You're going to want to cut my head off. You know what I'm saying? And I don't want you to do that, because I want you to be able to survive and be able to take the next 6, 7, 8 trades that are going to be the winners. And once you hold that to the 10 trade sample size, you're going to see net green. And to me, that's a winning 10 trade cycle. You know what I'm saying? There's times where we're going to win 10 out of 10, but there's also going to be times we're going to win 6 or 7 out of 10. Over the long haul, we make it work. You know what I'm saying? So start off with one contract. Come on right over here, and you change this order right to limit to market, and you are going to get, you press confirm and send, and you're going to get into the trade right there. All right, you're going to go right into the trade right here. Then once you're in the trade, let me see a position right here. In this account, I believe I got SPY still. All right, so yeah, you're going to see this right here. When you take that trade, you're going to see this position size over here, right? You can then right-click this, right? Right-click this and press create closing order. And you press that. Now, you see how that turned red. When we buy it, it is green. When it's red, we are selling it back. If you start off with it red in the beginning, you are selling a contract, which is a different technique that we're going to get into right after this. So when you want to get out of this, right, you come over here, you change your limit to market, you press confirm, you press send, now you're out of the trade. All right. If you want to use a trail stop like me on the day trade side, same thing. Right click this, create closing order. You come over here to the order type and press trail stop, right? What this trail stop means is that if I get my drawing tool and you see the price of this option right here is $138, and you see on the chart that it is pushing up, and I put this 10-cent trail stop in, as price is moving up, like say it's moving up right here, it's moving my stop up along with it. So then as it comes down, guess what? This number right here is what you want to trail this option price with. That is 10 cents. Do not let it overcomplicate you. It is very simple. You just got to understand that as price goes up in your favor, right? The second you take this 10-cent trail stop, press confirm and press send, guess what's going to happen? It's going to put a stop loss right here and say the current share price is right here. As the share price rises, your stop loss, trailing stop loss, resulting in the name trail stop, it is going to trail as price goes up. As it comes back to you, it'll then stay here. If it comes all the way back down here and then comes back up, once it breaks that high, guess what? Your trail stop's going to start moving up again. Then it's going to come back down. Boom, it's going to sell you out. So instead of taking profits right here and getting out of the trade, that's fine. But guess what? You can use a trail stop to take advantage of the potential movement if it keeps going in your favor. So that's how you do the trail stop. Now, if we buy this for a swing trade, right? If we buy this for a swing trade and we pay $1.38 and we want to put a trail stop limit in place, what that does is we could sit here just like this and say go to the gym, come back tomorrow. If this gives me my 15 or 20%, I can take the same thing, right click this, press sell, and say we bought it at $1.38. If I want a trail stop at 20%, right? What's 20% of 138? We're just going to say 13 is 10%, 26 is 20%. So you're going to take 138, the 1.38, and we want to go up, we just want to say, 25 cents. So 38 plus 25 is what? 38, 48, 58, it's 63. So if you want to put a trail stop limit in that place, come down here to trail stop limit. This puts that order out. Top part, what did we just say? It was 38, 48, 50, 1.62. That is the limit price. That is the limit price, meaning when that option hits 162, it's going to put us in that automatic trail stop. We don't even have to be at our computer. Everybody follow me. You don't even have to be at your computer. You can then change the trailing amount by whatever you want. If 20% is 25 cents and you trail it by 10 cents, just know you're trailing it by about 8 or 7% ROI. If that floats your boat, go for it. I typically will go into, if I'm going up 20%, I'll typically go into a 10% trail stop. So I'm guaranteed 10% of my trade. If I want to let one run loose, I'll go back to break even and run a 20% trail stop. Like if there's a lot of momentum behind it, I'll go back to break even, especially with my runners. But for simplicity purposes, I recommend just putting the trail stop limit in and getting consistent profits, right? And then the next thing, when you want to push this through, come over here to where it says day and change it to GTC, which is good till close. Then you want to press confirm and send. Once you press send, guess what? You have nothing else to do. You're either going to stop out of this trade for a winning trade, or you're going to get an alert, right, that you set when the share price comes down, and you're going to sell out for a loss. So is that a good situation to be into? If you follow me right now, put a 1 in the box right now. If everyone's follow me right now. Just make it short. So then we're going to go into some of our more advanced techniques. All right, perfect. I see 1s in the box. If you guys have any questions, feel free to save them. I'll give you some time here in about 20, 25 minutes to ask that. So whether you day trade or swing trade, that is how you buy a straight call or a straight put. You can market order out. You can put a limit order sell out, or you can put a trail stop or a trail stop limit. The trail stop limit needs to be used on the desktop. All right. And the same thing that we did on the call side, the put side is exactly the same thing. You come here to the ask column, you press this right here, this. When you press that, change your contracts, go from limit to market, press confirm and send. Boom, ding, ding, you're in. See that POS on the put side? You right click it. It's the same exact process. The calls and the puts, create closing order, and guess what happens? Do you see that? You are now good on that, right? You are now being able to close out of that trade, right? At same way, the same exact thing you did on the call side. So you are good. All right, so another technique we have, if you come up here, right, and if you right click this, we have a strangle, right? A strangle or straddle that you are buying one call and one put. If you're doing a strangle, this is a strangle right here because we have the 601 calls, and we have the 595 puts. That's a strangle. A straddle would be, we have the 597 calls and we have the 597 puts, right? So they're similar, but yet very different. Just so you know, I get tons of messages, right? Brandon, do you sell out the call side? Brandon, do you sell out the put side? Do you do this? Do you do that? This is my little account that I've been growing just for, what I want to say, just for working with a couple people and showing them that I can grow the small account. I believe we up, what? I think we're up like 120% on this little account right here. I got a bigger account that I'd swing trade and do some of the iron condors in as well. But on this one, so if it's a small account, we got this one has the one call and the one put. So this is a strangle, right? When I want to close out my strangle, and let's say right here, I buy this. Let's say right now, I spent $138 on this side. I spent $178 on that side. If you add them together, what does that come up with? We'll just say 180 and 140. 180, 280. So it's $320, right? When I exit this actually combines both those positions together. You do not have to go into the call side or the put side. What the heck's Brand talking about? Well, if I'm in a strangle, you see this position up here where my cursor's at? I'm circling it 1, 2, 3. If you right click this, you see where it says sell strangle. Does everybody see that? I'm going to click this. Now it's putting one order out to sell the call and the put at the same time. Remember we just talked about the price of both those contracts? Well, if you spend $320 and it's at $314 right now, you're down $6. But guess what? The strangles, you do not have to wait for me to tell you when to take profits on them. You can put a trail stop limit in and automate these strangles, these weekly income plays every single week. Does everybody follow me? So guess what? What do? Remember how we closed out the calls and the puts I just shown you? Well, come on over here and you can change your limit to trail stop limit. If we paid $320 and we times it, right? We'll just say, where's my calculator at? It always hiding when I need it. I'm a visual guy. $320 times, let's say we want to go risk free at 20%. 20% equals $64. So 320 plus 64. So we'll do 320 plus that 64. That's 384. So now you put your limit price 3.84, and you can put a trail stop in of 0.20. So now, guess what? Monday at the end of the bell or before the closing bell, you might be triggered in a trail stop, and you might get stopped out on a Monday with profits while not sitting in front of your computer the whole day. Does everybody follow me? Does everybody see that? So I don't make it harder than it has to be. I'm not closing out the call or the put, right? I'm closing them out combinedly together. So if I was to set this one up right here, I would say confirm, send. Once I'm up that 20%, it's automatically going to trigger me into a trail stop. Winner, winner, chicken dinner. So guess what? I'm either going to get stopped out for a winning trade, or I'm going to close this position manually Thursday before the ending bell. And that's how easy taking the weekly income plays can be when you make things super simplified. If everyone understands that, give me a simplified in the box. Now I'm going to make you do a little bit of work. Put a simplified in the box. I got him today. You know what I'm saying? Got him today. All right. I see you. Simplify. There it is. So you might see me on Facebook saying simplified trading. Hey, this is exactly what I'm doing. All right. So the last advanced technique that we do, right? It's similar. We can close out the same way. Is the iron condors, right? I want to make sure you guys understand how to buy these, right? Set them up properly so that the next time we call one out, you could be able to take advantage of it. You follow me? With the election and stuff like that, we are going to start doing the small account ones. I know I told you last week we were going to do it, but I totally forgot the election. I knew something crazy was going to happen. Either way, so we decided to wait. But I got something brewing tomorrow. I think it's going to be highly beneficial for us. And if you want to practice it, just trade in your simulated account, right? So before I do that, right, an easy way to do this, if you want to take the weekly income plays, the strangle or straddle, everybody see this spread? Right, left click it, and you can come right down here, and you could say strangle, right? And say I want to take a strangle. This is an easy way to do it. Say I want to take the 601 calls. I click on the ask. Well, 601 calls, and we'll say we'll just say 595 puts. Does everybody see that? So the debit's 614. If I want to enter this, I press market, confirm, and send. If Brandon says 592 puts, come down here to 592. That's strangle. You want to take a straddle, guess what? Come right here to straddle. Same exact logic. You know what I'm saying? Same exact logic. Where we can do this right here. So you can see right here, the contracts, the most expensive or the cheapest one is 5. This one right here. Click on the ask still. The 598 call, 598 put. Make sure you change the contracts to 1, especially if you're just starting out. And same thing, market. Guess what? You're going to get in that trade right now for about $565. Instead of trying to buy the call and the put. And the reason I say that to say this. There's been times where I bought the call and the call kept ripping and ripping. Dropping, and then the put exponentially became a lot higher. So ideally, I like to put a similar dollar amount on each side. And it just wasn't feasible to do that because one side was like 250, the other side was like 300, and it happened of like a minute and a half. And this way, that eliminates that because it's going to take both sides and put you in at the same exact time, right? So, and now that also leaves me to, guess what? The iron condor. How do we take the iron condor, right? We know the iron condor, right? We know that the calls, we're buying a call and selling a call. So this one we're going to say buy. This one we're going to say sell. Puts, right? We're going to say puts. You are buying a put and you are selling a put. Always remember, when you take the iron condor, you're buying the call on the outer side of the bracket. And when you are buying the put, it is also on the outer side of the bracket. In this case, since the puts are going down, your put is at the bottom. So when you're setting these up, this is how you make sure you do them the right way, right? So let's just say we're looking at SPY for Friday's expiration. What is the share price? Let's just go to the 600, right? Let's go to the 600. So it doesn't matter where we click. We can click it right here, right? Now what you can do is you see right here where you have the plus and the plus. So these are your two puts. These are your two calls. Now remember, we want to calls is on the upside, right? Puts is going down on the share side. So if we're going to come here and buy, right, and you can change this to 1, please don't do 10, especially if you're practicing. You can come in here, and the buy on the call side needs to be higher. What do you see right now? Does everybody see that this 597 is underneath 598? So right now, you're buying an iron condor, you're not selling it. So technically, you could do that, but if you come in here and you press confirm and send, look what happens. Your max profit is $11. Your max loss is $89. That's not good. You're going, if you buy this right now and mess it up, that means you could lose $90, but or 89, whatever, and you're gonna make $11. That's not worth it to me. You know what I'm saying? You follow me? That's not worth it. So if we're really going to do this, if we want to change this to the 600 call, now you see how that whole vicinity turns red. Everybody follow me. Red is selling, green is buying. All right? So if we're buying the 600 calls, that means the selling one, where the minus is, we're going to make this one be right next to it, 599, because that's the next strike underneath it, right? Then to the put side, right? To the put side, you could say, well, if we're buying this one at 596, this isn't right because look at the selling the put. It's 595. 595 is underneath 596. So you're still not doing it. Remember, we want to buy the put on the outside, on the bottom side. We want to buy the call on the outside. The ones we're selling is one strike in the middle, right? So if we come down here and we want to say 593, right? And we do this one right here and change this one to 1 next to 593, which would be 594. Now guess what happens? We press confirm and send. Guess what? We're now going to make $67, and a max loss is only going to be $33. Now our risk reward became 2 to 1. And that's a proper iron condor. Are you following me right here? Everybody follow me right here. So when we take these out, real simple, all you got to do is come up here to the spread, press iron condor, right? And you just need to make sure the buying of the one call and the buying of the one put needs to be at the lowest point and the highest point. Everybody understands that right now. Put a 1 in the box. Nikki says 2 1s, 3 1s. All right. Does everybody understand that? Also, I have a notion, right? Like Mike does the trade school. He made me a notion for all these advanced techniques. If you need to watch them, the master classes that I've done previously on each one of these specific techniques, just let me know. And you send me your email. I'll unlock you. I'm going to make a post about it tomorrow on the Facebook and the Discord. I'll put it in WhatsApp as well. But we make sure you can watch all those videos as well. So it'll go over all this super in depth. You're probably over there like, I have no idea what Brandon's talking about. But that's because you didn't watch the masterclass. You know what I'm saying? So I'll get you educated real fast. You just got to do the work on your end. for the folks that did attend the masterclass, right? I just want you to understand how to do this and also prevent any questions in the future, right? So same thing. Let's say we want to do a different symbol, right? Let's say we want to go to SPX. Well, same exact thing. Come here to the spread. Come down here to Iron Condor, and guess what it's doing, right? Guess what it's doing. So if it is 59.83, we could click this, right? Now, why is it green? It's because we don't have our brackets set up right. So once again, if we come here and change this to 1, and we change this call, we'll say 6,020. This inside one should be at 6,015. Right? Now, the buying side is higher than the sell side. Does everybody follow me? So now if we're to do this, we got to take this and let's just drop this down to 59.50. This needs to be 59.55. See what I'm doing here? The buying of the put needs to be at the lowest point on the strike, and the buying of the call needs to be at the highest point. So then, when you click this and you press confirm and send, we are now getting a max profit of 285 if we win. If we lose, we're getting a max loss of $215. Once again, our risk to reward exceeds, right? It's a good situation to have. And we share these trades every single day. If you got a special size account, doesn't matter, or you got $1,500 at 10 grand, we call them out. And if you don't understand how to execute it properly, then you ain't gonna be able to benefit from it. And that's why I went over this purposely for today. So that is how we get that. Does everybody understand how to take those contracts? Give me a DCG in the box real quick. If you do, and I see DCGs, we're going to move on to pick some stocks for us to walk through, and then I'll open it up for questions. Just put a DCG in the box. They said I'm gonna watch this again. Hey, no problem. That's why we record everything. You know what I'm saying? Gotcha. All right, I'll see a DCG in the box. Let's go. Hey, you got some master classes to watch? Hey, no worries. You know, no worries. Wait for this thing to load up. I put the batteries in. Where it at? Ding dong. What's it doing over here? There it is. I was about to say, hold on a second. Is it broke or what? All right, so let me pull up a chart here. We'll go to the calls first. I see Microsoft on here, MSFT. I'm going to check it out. I actually really like MSFT. I really like that. Really, really like that. I'm definitely going to keep this on my radar. We got a couple different things better than random why I like this. For one, we are above the baseline of the alligator. Every time we get above it, look what happens. Every time we get below it, look what happens, right? Sometimes we get below it, and then it just chops, gets above it, chops, and that's why we got to use risk management, right? But the reason I like this, because, I don't know if I can make this bigger. All right, I like it because, for one, every time we get our first green box, here, 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 here. This one, right? I expected us to break up. We never did. I wouldn't have taken that one. This one, I would have taken a breakout right here, and we ended up pushing up. Here, I would have taken a breakout there. We pushed up. Here, I'd have taken a breakout there. We pushed up. Now we got our first green box right here. If we break this high, what do you think should happen? We're probably going to revisit here, and if we push up, we can come all the way back up there. So Microsoft is setting up to be real good. The next thing why I like it is because we have an inside bar. Remember our inside bar technique that we have? You don't? Well, we got a training on that as well. You got your high here. You got your low right there. We got this bar is consolidating in the previous bar. So your mother bar's high is here, mother bar's low here. This candle is simply inside. It is contracting for expanding, for expansion, right? When things contract, it springs up. And what happens when you push on the spring? Bang! You get what I'm saying? So if we do take this out, I really, really like this a lot to the upside because I'm more bullish on it. So we're going to put this one on our watch list. I'm going to say Tuesday watch list. We'll say 11-12. We're going to say Microsoft bullish above 424.50. If it does break out, let's say tomorrow we open up here and it does break out. I mean, right now we are red, so it might not break out. We'll see. If it does break out, I'll put an alert right here. This will be my stop out. How do you put an alert right here? I'm going to put right click it, see where it says create an alert at or below, right? And I'm going to press take the loss and press create. Now, earlier you heard me say, I'm either going to get a notification to sell out of my trade or I'm going to get a notification that my trail stop got initiated. If I get the call tomorrow, I'm going to put a trail stop limit in because it's going to be a swing trade. I'm going to buy 2 weeks or 4 weeks of expiration time, and my trail stop's going to hit, or this alert on the chart is going to trigger, and I'm going to sell out for a loss. So you're not going to lose. I can't say not. The probability is not going to take 100% loss, but you might take 20, 30, 40%. You know what I mean? And if you don't want to take that, buy 4 weeks, you might take a 15 or 20% loss. Right? So we're going to watch Microsoft. I don't really have much more on the list. I do have TSN. I believe that's Tyson Foods. That had a beat up of earnings, so that takes that one away. I don't really have anything else, but I have a crap ton of put trades. So ELV, what is that? Elevance Health, I don't like that one. CI, Cigna Group, or that's CL. Colgate, that one's all right. UNP, Pat Corp. Okay, now we get into something that we're familiar with. AMD. Wow, this one is setting up real nice. This is like a textbook downward channel. And the same exact thing. If we break this low, we got our first red dot. If we scroll out, right, and you see, let me zoom this in. If you see, we get underneath the alligator, we get our first red dot. Bang, right here. First red dot. Well, we failed to break down, so we wouldn't have taken that one. Red dot, we broke down. Red dot right there, we would not have taken that because it didn't break. Red dot, we would have got the short right there. Red dot, we got the short here. Red dot, we got the short here. Now we got another red dot. If we break this out, we're probably coming down here to this area. And that right there is about 8 or 10 points. If that happens in a week or 2 weeks or less, and you got 4 weeks of time, that could be a potential 30 to 50% ROI winner. You know what I'm saying? So I like Microsoft for bullishness, but AMD, bearish, below 141.50. And with the mastermind report saying we're more than likely to be bearish this week, right? Which is playing out once again. Look what happens. You see that? So we'll try to find one more. We got Wynn. Everyone knows Wynn Hotels. What are they looking like? That already moved down too much. Ross Stores. That's setting up right there. What's Triple M looking like? I like Triple M. Right underneath the baseline of the alligator. If it breaks this, we're probably falling another $3, $4. So we're going to keep an eye on Triple M. Triple M, bearish below. Yeah, I'm going to post this in the chat, and I'm also going to put it in Discord. Bearish below 128.46. So those will be our watch list stocks. All right, it's 9:40. We got something that we're going to keep an eye on for this week. Potentially tomorrow, maybe the next day. If not, hey, we'll get some more stocks coming back tomorrow, or I'm sorry, next Tuesday, right? All right. As promised, I'm going to open it up for some questions. If anybody has any questions, or anything you want to see on the chart, let me know. And we'll get them squared away. So the time is yours right now. What anybody have any questions? You can put them in the box. You don't gotta be shy. You come on the mic if you'd like. What was the one that we were looking at? Can I see in the video? Yeah, let's check the video out. The video is a real bullish one. Real bullish one. To me, it's the problem though. When I take trades, right, and you guys all should have Swing Master Pro AI, when these candles start turning green, right, to me that's a bullish trend. We got our first Swing Master Pro AI buy right here, and you could see there's TP. You come right down there to the target, bounced, came up, and you end up getting a winning trade. If you missed that first initial trade, we created the reversal arrows. Right here's an entry right here. There's a stop out. There's a winner. Reset. Here's another entry. There's a winner. Here's another entry. You got stopped out for a loss. Here's another entry. There's a winner. Our last reversal arrow was bullish. Come over here to the chart. I could see that without even writing on my screen. I'm just sharing with you from a visual standpoint what I'm looking for. So I'd really need a reset, you know. So NVIDIA is great. Upscale or upside's great. I mean, you got one of two things you could do. You could put an alert right here if we break out, because I mean we are potentially in a bull flag, and we could push out, and I may miss the move. I'm okay with that because, like I said, for me, I try to be the robot and take the same trades over and over and over again, and see what happens. You know, same thing right here to the downside. I dislike buying when the candles are red. Why? Because guess what? You got your first sell right there. There's a winner. Reversal arrow, grand slam. Reversal arrow. You got stopped out. But guess what? You had two winners and one loss right there. You'd be 2-1 with a 66% win rate. This first trade right there, that right there is 50 to 100%. This trade opened up way down there. It went from 107 down here to 92. You mean to tell that right there is probably like a 500, 800% ROI trade if you have 2 weeks of time. You got 4 weeks, that's 2, 3, 400%. That thing dropped 107 down to 92. You know what I'm saying? 15 points in one day. That is 15 points in one day. All right? Just so, I mean, if you think I'm crazy, in the video, check it out. Come here to single, and what we say 2 weeks of time, we'll go right here. If it drops 15 points in one day, no matter if you buy a call or a put, let's say you buy one contract right here, right, at the 18-cent delta, 167, 57.50 will be 52.50. That 172 is going to be worth about $500 to $600. So this is the thing you gotta understand. When it falls that fast, you're getting a lot of IV in your favor, so it's going to increase it even more. You know what I'm saying? It'll increase it even more. So even though it looks like we might make 350%, even if you make 350%, okay. I mean, are you mad with that? I'm not. You know what I'm saying? Anyway, what I'm getting at is, let's just say we made a measly 50% here, and we made a measly 100% here. We have 150% profit. We take this. Okay, we lost 20%. We'll say 50% actually. Guess what? We're still net profited by 100%. And that's why I say you got to stay consistent with trading. You know what I'm saying? NVIDIA is a little bit too early for me. I'll tell you one I am looking for is Amazon. Man, I really want to get in Amazon. Same thing. I want that reset. You know, I want the reset, but it is in the report. It's looking real good. Just like the report, what I put in this month, I put in JPM. We called it out right down here. Reversal arrow right down there for the month. If you would have taken this, that right there is 500-600% off the report. And James even alerted it to a different strike. Hey, he got a good one too. The Condor. What do we add or subtract the AI swing to? All right, so right here, if you're trading SPY and you want to practice the Iron Condors yourself, that's a great question, Nikki. You come right over here to the AI swing, and you see where it says 5.94. You would simply take the closing price, right? The last 10 minutes of the day, wherever that's at, the 596, and it might fluctuate 50 cents, but it's not that big of a deal. You would actually make sure your calls would be 550 or 6 higher. So let's say it's 350 East Coast time, and the share price is right here, 596.90. What's 596 plus 6? That is 602. So your call would be the 602. That's the one you're buying, and you'd be selling the 601. Now you want to minus 596 to the put side, and you may buy the 591 puts, and then you're going to sell the 592 puts. Because remember, the ones you're buying have to be on the outside. And that's how you guys can utilize Swingmaster Pro AI for you guys to take your own trades in practice. You don't need me because I'm using the same tool right here that you guys have. You know what I'm saying? I'm using the same exact tool. Oh, whoa, that makes sense. Thanks, coach. Hey, you the coach. You know what I'm saying? You the coach. Now I appreciate it. But that's exactly what I'm doing. All right, so why did I call it SPX today? Same thing. What do you see right here? 58. I went up 55, went down 55. Guess what? The power is in the AI. Everybody's following me right now. Put a 1 in the box. Me and the dream team, me, Mike, and Jamar, we put a lot of money and resources and time to construct this for all of us. And it's an ATM. Shh, don't tell anybody else. You know what I'm saying? Nope. It takes it takes a whole bunch of information, and sometimes it does. Sometimes it doesn't. You just gotta stay consistent with it. You know. Does anybody have any other questions? Any questions? If we don't have any other questions, then I can give you guys your night back. Just so you know, if you are a full mastermind, you have the opportunity to live trade with me and ask me questions during a live market. Feel free to jump on. I open the room up 9:15, 9:20 a.m. Eastern time. Right? So let's have some fun. Just don't be asking questions in the first hour. Let me make my money, and then the rest of the time is yours. You know what I'm saying? Anyway, you got value from tonight's call, and it opened your eyes up a little bit. Just give me a DCG in the box, please. Appreciate you guys. You guys are all rock stars. Thank you, thank you, thank you. If you ever do have any questions, comments, or concerns, never hesitate to reach out. So I'm going to give you your night back. You guys have a blessed one. Catch me on the next one. Beast Mode out.